Hey folks, it's Todd again with Step by Step Golf. For all of those of you that watched the video posted last week, February 1st, thank you. This is a new video. 95% of this video will be the same as what you've seen already, but there is an update to the scoring. And given the importance of the scoring, I just decided to re-record this, take down the old video, make sure there's only one video out there so there's no confusion. So we're going to jump into the scoring right here, updates right here at the beginning, and then the remainder of this video will be the same if you saw the one from last week. Okay, so here's how it works. Every hole is worth a point on Saturday. On Sunday, every hole is worth 2 points. We double up on Sunday to make the second day worth a little bit more. So this is not traditional match play. In traditional match play, it's kind of the 1-up, 2-up system. That is not how we are going to do it this year or how we've done it in the past. The way we do it is we give a point for every hole. In this way, you're there for the weekend, you've paid your money, you want to play, you want to compete, you want to grind it out. And so by giving points on every hole, it means that all players and all matches will play all 18 holes both days. Okay, so the Joshua Cup consists of 4 matches, 4 9-hole matches, and each match is 2 versus 2, so 2 nationals versus 2 Americans. And so on Saturday morning, front nine, each hole is worth 1 point. And then whoever at the end of the 9 holes has the most points, you get an extra bonus point. So there's actually 10 points for the front 9 match. When you go to the back 9, it all starts over again. And each hole on the back 9 is also worth 1 point. And then the back 9 winner gets a bonus point. So again, 10 points available for the back 9. On Sunday, it doubles. Front 9 worth 2 points per hole, 2 points for the bonus. So the front 9's worth 20. Back 9, same thing. 2 points per hole, 2 points for the bonus. Back 9 worth 20 as well. So here's how it works. Let's assume this is Saturday morning front 9. And let's assume on the first hole, the Americans make a 4, the Nationals make a 3. Remember, there's no such thing as 1-up in this tournament. That's not how it works. In this case, because hole number 1 is worth 1 point, the Americans would get 0, Nationals get 1. Let's say on hole 2, the Americans make a 3, Nationals make a 4. Guess what? In this case, the Americans get the point, Nationals get 0. Let's say on hole 3, they each make a 4. Guess what? You have the point. There's no carryovers, there's no ties because you tied the hole. You have the point, half of a point to each side. Let's say the same thing happens on hole number 4, half the point. Let's say the same thing happens on hole 5. You tie the hole again, you have the point. Same thing on 6. I'm making this easy. You see the pattern here, and you have the point. Then all of a sudden on 7, the Nationals win the hole. They get the point. On hole 8, the Nationals win the hole again. They get another point. And on hole 9, the Americans win, so they get the point. In this scenario, the match will have finished 4 for the Americans, 5 for the Nationals. When you total up all the points, it's got a total 9 because there's 1 point per hole. And so in this case, the Americans get 0 bonus and the Nationals get the bonus point. And so the final score of the front 9 match in this case would be 6-4 Nationals. The same pairing, these same 4 players will go to number 10 and they start all over again, and they'll basically do the same thing. Sunday is the same, except all points are doubled. So hopefully this helps with scoring. All right, let's talk formats. Saturday front 9 is a scramble. This is a traditional scramble where you and your partner both hit every shot. You pick the shot you like, you move the other ball there. That's what a scramble is. Some people call it best ball. Keep in mind, best ball and scramble are very, very different. Best ball is where you have a partner, but you play your own ball through the hole. Your partner plays their own ball through the hole. It really should be called best score. That's what best ball is. Scramble is where you're moving the ball every time to the shot that you like best, and both partners playing from there. That is Saturday front 9. Saturday back 9, total shamble. Okay, this is a little different, a little bit new for some of you guys. You and your partner will both tee off. You will choose the shot you like best, and the other player will move their ball to that spot like a scramble. And from there, starting on shot number 2, you will both play your own ball through the hole. So it's kind of like you get a little bit of help from your partner to be able to choose the best tee shot. But starting on the second shot, you both play your own ball through the hole. That's what a shamble is. And we call it a total shamble because at the end of the hole, you and your partner add your scores together. So if you make a 4, your partner makes a 5, your team score for that hole is a 9. Let's say your opponents make a 5 and a 5. Their team score is a 10. So your team with a 9 would get the points for that hole. That's what a total shamble is. We play that on the back 9 because it makes all 4 balls, all 4 players count. All 4 players matter in the match. Now let's go to Sunday. Sunday front 9 is modified alternate shot. In this case, you and your partner will tee off on every hole. You pick the shot you like best, and the player who didn't hit that shot plays the second shot. And so you alternate from that point on in. And so it's really like alternate shot. You and your partner alternating all the way through to the ball is hole, until the ball is holed. But what makes it modified is you and your partner tee off on every hole. In true alternate shot, that's not the case. You actually alternate tee shots. But in this case, we want you to all tee off, both of you tee off on every hole. That's what makes it modified. Starting with the second shot, you alternate from there. Keep in mind, you got to keep the ball in play. You cannot replace it with your ball. You've got to play the ball that is in play. And then Sunday back 9, we're going to do a total shamble again. So back 9, both days is total shamble again because it makes all 4 players contribute. Okay, some local rules. These are just some adjustments that Step by Step Golf has made, as well as RTJ, just to help increase the pace of play in some cases and enjoyment of play as well. Live clean and place in your own fairway. This is new for us this year, but given winter conditions, possible rain, we're just going to go ahead and say always, always, always in your own fairway and closely mown areas, which is basically the areas around the green that have been mowed. You can lift clean in place always. Step by Step has a rule called one touch, both touch. Here's what this means. In formats where one of you, so there's 2 of you playing together as partners, in formats where one of you can touch the ball, we allow both of you to touch the ball. So scramble is an example. Let's say that one player hits their drive into the bunker and the partner hits the drive into the water. That'll never happen, but let's say it does. You and your partner would likely, you don't have to play the ball in the bunker. You can always, if you've got, for whatever reason, wanted to play the ball in the water and take a penalty, you could. But let's say you choose the ball in the bunker. So the player who hit the ball in the water has got to go take their ball over and drop it or place it in the bunker. Well, since that person has the luxury of being able to hold and place the ball, we allow the other player to do that as well. There's no reason why the person who hit the ball in the bunker should have to play it down when their partner gets to place it. So if one partner gets to touch, both get to touch. Scramble is the main place where you will see that. The other place you will see it is on the second shot in the total shamble. So total shamble, which are the back 9 formats. Remember that you're going to pick a drive and the other player gets to move the ball there. Now you both play your ball in from there, but starting on the second shot only, you both can lift clean in place because one touch, both can touch. Now keep in mind from there, it's on your own. So if one player hits their second shot and they're in the fairway, they can lift clean in place. But if the partner hits their shot into the bunker, they can't lift clean and place it because they're on their own at that point. I know that's confusing. We'll talk about it on Friday night. Just what you need to know is lift clean and place always in your own fairway and closely mown areas, and then one touch, both touch. Think of it that way. Gimmies are encouraged in match play when appropriate. Also, hole concessions. A hole concession means one group maybe didn't even get to the green, but there's a big discrepancy. So maybe one group is or one pairing is one team is lying 2 on the green. the opponents have hit 3 or 4 shots, they're not even to the green yet, you can actually concede the hole. And this is a great thing to do for pace of play. You might be hitting your 4th shot, and then your opponents are up there, 10 feet from the hole laying 2. Now, don't give in too early, but at the point when it's obvious that you're not going to be able to win or tie the hole, pick it up and let's go. Move on to the next hole. You always can concede putts as well, and you're encouraged to do so. 1-footers, 1.5-footers, 2 feet maybe, especially if it's a straight, simple putt. Now, if it's 2.5 feet, kind of downhill with some break, maybe not. But think about the appropriate times to give putts and to concede holes. This is an etiquette thing, as well as a great way to speed up pace of play. Fescue plays as a penalty area, and there's a lot of fescue at Robert Trent Jones. Sometimes it's grown up really high, sometimes they've cut it down, but the fescue is obvious, and the cut line of the fescue is very obvious as well. So starting on that cut line, from there in, it plays like a penalty area. So you have the same 5 options in fescue as you would have if you're in, let's say, a water hazard. Okay, a little bit more about etiquette, pace of play. Now, guys, we're going to talk a lot about this in the meeting on Friday night. I'm just giving you a fair warning. We are going to be very, very tough on pace of play this year. The folks at the golf course, they get calls every year from the public play behind us because of how slow we are. Pace of play has been really, really slow, and we're going to watch that very carefully this year. So you're going to get a warning. But on the second warning, we're going to actually ask you to skip a hole. So 1 warning only. Keep this in mind. We're going to have to be really, really tough because we've got to make a big difference this year, pace of play. If we don't, we're going to run into daylight issues because our tee times are a little bit later than they've been in the past. Again, the club pushed us back to get more public play in front of us this year. So we've got to be aware of pace of play. Spirit of the tournament. Guys, it is possible to be highly competitive and be nice. You can do both. Jack and Arnold talked about that. That happens sometimes with the LIV golfers. I know the LIV and the PGA golfers sometimes kind of talk trash to each other, but they can play highly competitive tournaments with each other, like let's say at the Masters, and still be nice and still be friendly. And so bring the right attitude, be a great competitor, but also be friendly. Express appreciation to people around the clubhouse, to your opponents, to step-by-step golf staff. Be highly competitive, but be nice and friendly, and match the spirit of the tournament at the same time. Solve your discrepancies among yourselves. So meaning within your group, if there's a rules question or possibly a rules violation, you guys solve it within the group. And at the time of the situation, you will have a phone number on your scorecard for the head rules official, which is my father, Tom Gober. You can call him for clarity if you need to, but you guys are encouraged. The USGA actually has a rule that allows in match play for you guys to solve it within your group. You can't change the rules of golf, but you can come to an agreement. You can forgive a penalty if you wish, if you want to show grace. You can forgive something, but it's got to be decided in that moment because the scoring matters. So when you tee off on the next hole, there's no going back. Also in match play, you never hit 2 balls. There's never a time when you would replay a shot or hit 2 balls just in case you decide it later. You've got to determine it in the spot right then. I encourage you to talk with each other, with your competitors, and gain agreement. Reminder, this is a team event. Some of you players, you may get a pairing with your own teammate that you don't love or you wish was with someone else, or you may get paired against an opponent that's really, really good, and you may get a tough draw. Remember, every point matters. And so even if you get down and the other team is way up, that's the beauty of this hole by hole scoring, is that you don't have to necessarily win the match. But even if you're way behind, grind it out and try to win holes 7, 8, 9 or holes 16, 17, 18, because even if you grind out 1 or 2 holes late in the match, those points count to your team totals. So take a team approach to this, and you'll have a great time. It is your responsibility to know the rules, the tee markers, the tee assignments, and the tee times. This is a great way you can help me. Every year, someone shows up, multiple someones show up on the first tee box asking me about which tees they're playing or what the format is. That is way too late, guys, and it's very frustrating with 1,000 things on my mind and trying to run a golf tournament. You can help me by studying these documents, know the formats, know the rules, and know your tee times. That's a great way you can help. And be where you're supposed to be before you are supposed to be there. We ask you to be on the first tee 15 minutes before your tee time. It's a little more than usual, but that's because we're going to go over some of this and just make sure you've got what you need. And we also are going to pray with you. We pray with every group before you go to the first tee box. That's an important part of our tournament, and we want to take a few extra minutes for that. So 15 minutes before your tee time, be on the first tee. Overall, guys, thank you for supporting Step by Step Golf. Your contributions, your participation in this tournament is also a benefit to the Thrive Foundation, which is where we are helping families, couples, teams with their relationship. We help people create thriving relationships. We take international mission trips, workshops, conferences, assessments, all kind of stuff to help people in their time of need. And so your contributions and participation in this tournament help us do that. Thank you so much. We will see you in Prattville.